All right, Donna, this next video is pretty important to you because this will help you keep your computer up to date with all the latest software changes that you need to keep up to date with in order to keep hackers from taking advantage of you and your system. All right, so what we're going to do is called a Windows update. So there's a couple of ways to get to the same thing. We can go here to the Start button, and then here we can type in this field, Windows updates, like that. And what happens is this option will show up. Now, the reason why you saw it before I started typing in this field is because I'd actually done it. I did a couple of dry runs to make sure that I could give you proper video without having to be all drawn out. And then what you do is you click on the open button. There's another way you can do this too. I'm going to go ahead and backspace out of all of this. I'm going to click off, and then what I'm going to do is click on the field down here again, and I'm just simply going to type in Windows again. Oops. Windows updates. All right, and that's correct. And you see the option shows up again. Again, first time you do it under your profile, you might not see that. And just because you see it now for your account, in reality my account, doesn't mean you'll see it in a month or 2 or 3 months. So you have to keep up with this. You have to remember to type in Windows updates and then get to this. And then regardless of how you get to this option on the menu, you click on the open here. Okay. We are going to do Windows updates. We have not done them yet. You can do download and install all, or you can pick and choose these. I think because this is the very first time your laptop's ever gotten the updates, I'm going to go ahead and just choose this option here in the blue button, download and install all. Because I have really good Wi-Fi in my home and I have it secure, I'm going to go ahead and just do that. All right, so what happens is, oops, you'll see all of these items that are listed. I'm not sure why the screen is blinking so much, it's kind of weird. These are all the named updates. And what you'll see is that they've been downloaded and then they have to be installed. But what's happening is they're all being downloaded and they might have to be retried. Ooh, this one got completed. There's another one up here that just got started downloading again. So I'm going to step back here and see what you can see. Oh, there's some really big ones like this one down here and this one here. And the reason why I didn't touch the screen, by the way, besides we don't want my fingerprints all over it, is this laptop actually has a touch screen. You can use your fingertip and touch and do stuff. You can use your finger touch and touch that, or you can fingerprint with this and touch this. If you do that while this is going in, it's not that big a deal to do that. So see your Windows updates listed here? Let's try touching the option for system right here. Look at that. That changed the system. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. Personalization. You can get in here. There's a lot of stuff that's safe, and there's a lot of stuff that you probably should call me and ask me for some advice about. Again, I don't want to overwhelm you, but I also don't want to restrict your learning. So let's work together to make sure we get you up to date. Okay. We're going to go ahead and tap on Windows Update option down here. The touch screen updated, and now we are basically looking at all of this stuff, pending and installing and downloading, installing. So basically, this guy's installing, and this guy is downloading. You cannot do more than one install at a time. Sorry. Yeah. You cannot do more than one install concurrently. Okay. So you'll never see two things installing concurrently, but you'll see the word installing versus pending install. Okay. So when this one that says installing 0% somehow gets up to 100%, then one of these other pending install will also run through the installation process, and then the next one will run through it, and this downloading one will run through the installation, and then you'll do the restart now, and then we'll run through this process again, because what we want to do is run through this process ad nauseum at least the first couple of times, not just for you to learn, but also make sure your computer gets the actual updates downloaded. Okay, so I'm going to keep this video running and go silent. Other than maybe hearing my breath. Hopefully not. So the one at top that was saying installing, it actually completed pretty quickly. Then this one that says completed here, the third one down, which is the Dell Incorporated driver update, which was helpful to download because it's important for your computer itself as opposed to the operating system on your computer. It was next, and then the one at the top quickly installed, and it says pending restart. So when you see all of them say pending restart or complete, that's when you know when you're in a pretty firm state of being ready to move to the next phase. Okay, pending restart means you have to reboot your computer for it to actually take effect. Completed means you don't have to reboot your computer if it says just completed. Right? I don't want to overwhelm you again, but if you see the word completed after you see a package listing here, it says completed on the same line, and that's the only two things you got, for example, then you don't have to reboot your computer. It might be nice to do, but you don't have to reboot the computer yet. But if you see pending restart and that's all your options you have, or you have anything that says pending restart, you need to click on the option for restart now. Of course, we're not going to do it, but there is an option to click this drop down here, and you can say restart now or schedule restart. I like getting things done and out of the way when it comes to computers. I don't want to really futz around with them. I want to get stuff done. I don't want to have it hanging over my head. So this install here for the Intel Corporation driver update is the one that we're waiting on to complete. So hopefully that will complete here very soon. Anyway, while we're waiting on this one that says installing for the Intel Corporation driver update, the other thing we're going to do is take a look at this option at the top. It says get the latest updates as soon as they're available. That's turned off. I did not turn it off, but I'm glad it's turned off. I want you, one, to do these updates when you're not dealing with like a flood or rainstorm or something to take out your internet. You want to do this on a pretty good weather day. If it's misting, foggy, or lightly raining, you don't have to worry about your internet connection for your home, your neighborhood going out, so you'll be okay. But that's why we do this deliberately and manually to go after these updates as opposed to letting your computer handle it all for itself. I don't like that approach. I help older folks from my church, and they had their computer on auto update, and one of them actually got automatically updated to Windows 11 from Windows 10 a couple years ago. And they were like, oh my God, what happened to my computer? They were all confused and overwhelmed. I went in and said, you're running Windows 11. I told you don't update, and you did. And it turned out that their computer was set to auto update, which was something I turned off before myself. So somehow that feature, this one right here, got turned on. Okay, so the computer's blinking. We'll just move the mouse cursor around. We'll give the screen some time. And now, what happened was we confirmed that the Intel Corporation driver update of 32.0.101.7077 completed, and it's right there. So we are in a state right now where we need to actually click the Restart Now button. Okay. Click this option, and here we go. Sit back. So I'm going to let this computer reboot and come back up, and I'll take care of more updates. I'm not going to bore you with that process, but I just wanted you to see that you had that responsibility. This is your computer. It's just as important as getting your oil changed every 3 to 6 months. Obviously, just as important as putting gasoline in your gas tank. Making sure your battery gets changed out every 5 to 7 years, however bad it may be. Okay? This is an important thing, and I want you to be responsible for it, and I want you to take control over it so that you know that you're doing it. I can ask you, hey, did you do your updates? And if you say no, I say, why not? There's an important update that came out, and hackers are taking advantage of it if you don't update. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop the video here.